I experienced an encounter with God. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about an encounter with God. And there's people watching right now. That's all you need, is you need to have a connection with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Messiah, Jesus. And so I prayed, I hardly had any belief in God, okay? I'd been on drugs, and I was one of those, I'd wake up in the morning, Sid, and going through convulsions. I'd wake up in the morning at 3 and 4 o'clock and go get a bottle of whiskey to calm my body down. And this went on for years. I was a mainliner running up narcotics. A thief, had been arrested 13 times. I wanted out, but didn't know how. And there's somebody watching right now. It's not a drug addict, but your parents. And you're watching your son and your daughter going down this same road. I just want to let you know that there's hope. My mom prayed for me. When everyone else had given up, she got on her face and she prayed for me. When I called out on that day, Sid, when I called out to Jesus, all I said was, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And it was the heart of a drug addict going, please release me from this prison. If you're out there, if you're somewhere out there, Jesus, God, speak to me. And the presence of God invaded that room, came into my body, and after 3 days of violent convulsions, it was as if I had never eaten an aspirin. I'd never done a drug, never smoked pot, never done LSD, never done heroin. I was brand new. And right now, I want to let you know this, that you have had all kinds of experiences out there with religion, but you've never had an experience with Jesus Christ. Those of you who have been around the religious world, maybe you've gone to church, synagogue, whatever, you've never had an experience with God. That's what I'm talking about. He changes your life forever. And that's what happened on that day. And that's why for 30 years now I've been on fire for Jesus.
He went with his wife to Argentina, and this totally changed his whole paradigm for what life is really all about. What did you see in Argentina?
Well, the reason we went to Argentina is because of the encounter I had. My only goal, Sid, is for everyone on planet Earth to have an encounter with Jesus Christ. That's my goal, to have an encounter with God. And so we went to a fertile mission field, Argentina. What I saw there, I had never seen before. I went in 1984. A massive crusade was going on with a man by the name of Carlos Anacondia. I watched the man wave his hand across the crowd. Believe it or not, those of you watching at home, wave his hand across the crowd. Hundreds and hundreds of people that were with like a quarter of a mile away were struck by the power of God. They were touched mightily. And so I was watching people being delivered of demons, being set free, being healed, miracle signs and wonders in masses. And I said, Jesus, whatever this man has, I want it. And I walked straight up to Carlos and I went, lay hands on me, pray for me. And I remember that night he laid hands on me. I fell out in the mud.
When you say you fell out, what do you mean?
I lost all my strength.
You just fell over backwards?
Yeah.
Were you pushed? Did he push you down in the mud?
Oh, absolutely not. He just laid hands on me.
You're not going to lay in the mud on purpose.
No. That's called a courtesy fall, okay? And I'm not going to do it, okay? And so I fell to the ground. I'm laying there, and I just sense a Spirit of God just sweeping over me. It's the anointing. I'm saying, God, I want that anointing.